Live from the City of Angels on this Sunday night. You know it. It's the MMT Sunday Evening Spectacular as we have another Disney disaster. It's happened again. We're going to go over the lengthy list of box office bombs from the Mouse House here momentarily, but let's start with the latest. It is Wish. This film cratered. We are talking $49 million worldwide debut, not for 3 days, for 5 days. Guys, this is disastrous. Okay, this is as bad as you could go with this film. No one thought it would go this low. It's Walt Disney Animation. Yes, they've had, Strange World, we'll talk about in a minute. They've had issues, but this is the princess-esque story, right? It looks like a version of Frozen. We can sell it as that. We can make our money, and people will buy into that Disney brand. Well, the problem is the Disney brand is damaged big time. There's a bunch of reasons why. I'm going to tell you what's going on. You know the number one. We'll discuss momentarily, but let's talk about the bombs going all the way back to Lightyear. Okay, as you go all the way back to what was that? What was the year on that? It was last year, right? Let's see what the date was. How funny you forget these things. Last June, because Lightyear is a forgettable movie, just like everything we're going to list here as we go through this. Total worldwide, Lightyear, $226 million. It was a $200 million budget. That means they have lost hundreds of millions of dollars on Lightyear because, like we say, conservatively, you're looking at a 2.5 times budget to make your money back. So that would put it at about $500 million. Now, there is Disney Plus. There are the PPV buys, right? People buy those things and then they make money that way. So there's all this other stuff that we don't privy to those numbers, but they still lost at least minimum 100 million. Okay. Minimum 100 million on Lightyear. Let's go to Strange World. This one was a massive bomb for them. No one talks about this film anymore because if you saw it, you know why. Again, all these films, forgettable films. They need to go in, restructure, and start getting people who are talented in spots. That's my reaction to Wish. I'll give you my full evaluation here momentarily on that film. Just posted the reaction. I fell asleep during the movie because it's like AI-generated animated film. And that's because the talent's missing. Strange World is going to lose them as $175 million on that. So that's at least another $100+ million. And this is conservative, guys. This is conservative on the losses. Little Mermaid. If anything, that film came closer to breaking even, right? $300 million budget, $569 million worldwide. So that's getting closer to at least the 2X. Plus, you had the Disney Plus and all that. So maybe it didn't lose them a ton, but let's just say they lost some cash. $50 million on Little Mermaid. Let's just say $50 million. Let's go to Indiana Jones and the Dial of Disaster. $383 million worldwide, $300 million budget. So that film lost them hundreds of millions of dollars. We're not done. Haunted Mansion with a budget of, wasn't that like at least 150, 200, right? 117 worldwide. So that film loses them hundreds of millions of dollars. But yes, we still have more. We go to the Marvels. Now at $188 million worldwide, that is a $250+ million film. That'll lose them hundreds of millions of dollars. And now tonight we have Wish as it continues on and on for the Mouse House. This film did only $32 million stateside for 5 days. And that means that this film will, yes, again, add to the list of films that have lost Disney hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, here's what needs to happen for Disney to get their shit together and to fix things down the street. You guys know I ride my bike to watch movies at Disney when they bother to invite me. I'm that close. And my advice to you, first of all, bring me in. Bring me into your meeting tomorrow morning, and I will shit can at least 25% of the people in the room because you have to. You got to do it. After the Marvels and now Wish, you're going down the horrifically wrong track. You've got to course correct. That has to happen unless your aim is to lose hundreds of millions of dollars. If that's your aim, then keep your people, keep going. The problem is this. We have, and I've said it so many times here on MMT, and here we are again tonight. We have a crisis of lack of talent in this town in positions that need to have talent. Because if you want to call it woke, that's your thing. I'm telling you this. If you are hiring people to fill a quota, to, feel inclusive, I got a problem. I got a major issue with that. And what is it? That's not the best person necessarily. You hire the best person. That doesn't make me racist. That makes me someone who values merit. If that person happens to be someone who fills a quota for you, whatever the hell that is, then so be it. But if you have people in positions, which I'm sure is happening in this town, that do not deserve to be in those positions because we are trying to check off boxes, that's your first problem. You cannot have people in positions that demand talent and you have them there because they are there to fill a quota. You can't have it. It won't happen. Sports don't run that way. So why do we run it that way anywhere else? Again, go back to whatever sport you watch. I'll use football Sunday here, NFL. Can you imagine an NFL team trotting out their quarterback and going, this isn't our best quarterback. This is the quarterback that fills the most boxes for us. So we're going to let this quarterback play. And the true, more talented, we think the one who can probably win us games, we're going to put them second in the depth chart. Maybe they come in and see a couple of downs late, but we're going to let QB1, who checks the boxes, be. No, what? You guys would freak out. You guys would lose your shit. So why are we doing it in Hollywood? Because Hollywood's so we feel so good. We've got a virtue signal. I am not anti-woke, but I am definitely anti-virtue signal. If you're someone who virtue signals shit, it's like limp dick syndrome. Literally, you are turning everyone off. Don't do that shit. It is so repulsive when I see someone get on there and go, oh, I support the current thing. Okay, you know what? No one cares that you support it. And second of all, you're doing it to tell the world how virtuous you are. No one gives a shit. Go back to doing your thing and try to be more of an individual rather than I'm going to be like the hive mind. Everything that this person or thing says is great, then is great. Don't be like that, man. It's such a lame way to exist in this world. Don't do it. But here's the other issue we have here. Not just the crisis of talent in this town. I think there's certainly a lot of talented people who are not in positions they should be in because of the issue where we're trying to fill quotas, we're trying to be inclusive, and no one's suggesting you shouldn't try to be inclusive, but you do not force inclusivity and then disregard talent level. You don't do it, man. You can't do it. And I don't know what's happened in this world, certainly in Hollywood, but it's a broken mindset. I will never, ever subscribe to that mindset. It'll never happen because I value merit. That's it. End of discussion. There's nothing more to talk about there. The other thing that I need to talk about here tonight is the fact that no one discusses this. It's not just Disney. It's everything these days. People don't have money like they did 5 years ago. Everything is up in cost, right? No matter what you buy, you're paying more for it. Inflation is out of control. And no matter what you feel about Biden, I don't care what side of the political aisle you're on, you have to admit that we are in a really bad state right now, okay? And if you think that what that man's doing to, quote, lead this country is what we need, you need to be honest with yourself because first of all, you're lying to yourself. And second of all, you need to get real again and realize that we are in a really bad spot. And a lot of people don't have the money to even go to the movies. So when you have a family of four, it's like, well, I don't know if I even want to go see a Disney movie because, first of all, I don't like the politics of the movie, right? Certainly a huge part of the Disney issue. But when you look at that, and the family's like, well, first of all, tickets are at least in most places, what, 10 to 15? Here in Burbank, we're paying at least 16 a ticket. And that's just for a basic screening. If you go to the upcharge, the Dolbys, the IMAXs, you're going to pay more like 20, 25. That's why you have A-list. I mean, listen, even if I'm a family of four, granted, if I'm money crunched, I'm not going to the movies. But if I had a way to make it happen, I would just buy 4 A-lists. You're looking at $100. And you can go to 12 movies with your family. I mean, even if it's like a Tuesday night and you're bored, hey, guys, get in the car. We're going down to see a movie. And if it sucks, get up and leave. A-list, you can't beat it. For the money, there's no better value. Honest to God. They're not paying me for that. They should, but that's the reality. But if you don't have that and you're not a big movie goer, you're not even going to go. So you're on the fence because you don't have any money. You can't even afford half the shit in your life. I read a story, a guy I follow here on Twitter who's a car salesman. He's, behind the scenes, and he divulges all the stuff he shouldn't. And he says right now, the percentage of Americans who are behind on their car payments is astronomically high. It's the highest ever. Now, here's the question. If you're behind on your car payment, which you need to get from point A to point B, no matter where you are you going to go to the movies? So there's another sign. People are hurting. So that's another component that we're not really talking about here, that financially, many people are not in the right space to go to the movies. And I know we don't talk about that enough. I think it's very important that we make that point here tonight. Let's go to a couple of comments, and I'll give you my full evaluation of Wish, which feels like an AI-generated film. I mean, it's just such... And I'm sorry, listen, guys, Schlacker, because you know why? Because I want to try to convince the one person who's watching who still believes this shit. That's why I keep bringing it up. And it is a problem. How is it not a problem? How is it not a problem if you have someone in a position that you need deliver some quality and they're not capable? They don't have the talent. And when I watch Wish, evaluation momentarily, you see, who wrote this? This isn't good. This isn't funny. One song is pretty good. The rest of them, not so much. So that's why I bring the woke thing up. Because here's the thing then. So are you just saying that the talent level's down? Maybe the talent level's down because we're trying to fill people into boxes and they're not talented enough. I mean, again, back to sports. Would any team at any level of any sport have someone on the field that isn't good? Why would you do that? If you're a coach, your job depends on it. You want the best players. You don't care where they came from, what their socioeconomic background is, what their ethnic background. No one gives a shit. Can you play said sport that we're talking about? Yes, you're in. That's why it's not hard, because there's still people out there there's something broken in them. I don't know what it is, but you need to fix it because you are a broken person if you think like that. End of discussion. It's 100% true. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, good in theory, takes priority over good filmmaking. Exactly. No one's saying that these things are bad. I'm saying that if they come at the cost of an inferior product, then we need to stop it. You can't have that. I don't want to live in a world where we have people in positions that don't deserve to be there because we feel like we have to put someone in there because of some kind of background. When I start this channel, do you guys watch me because I'm a white dude? Why would you? Who gives a shit? I'm a guy talking about movies and later random crazy shit. Just wait till tonight. Tonight's going to be the ultimate. You just wait. You're going to come with me over the edge to MMT Gets Freaky. But you don't watch because I'm a white guy. Would more people watch if I were African American? Well, I would hope not. What's the difference? Who cares? I'm talking about movies. For God's sakes. That's why I always bring it up. But I'm right. I'm always right. I would love to get in a debate. What are they going to say? What's someone going to say? Come in, Ray. What are you going to say to me? What are you going to say to me that tells me I'm wrong? You're wrong, Eric. Says the white guy. Yes, MMT Gets Freaky coming up. Says the white guy. People don't want to acknowledge the problem, scared of being anti-woke. Well, the problem, how am I anti-woke if I just want the best person in the position? I told you guys, if I'm hiring somebody, I don't even want to know their background. I just want to know, are they talented? Let me look at the resume. Don't even show me the name. I don't even know. I don't want to know their background. Look at this. This person's resume is impressive. I want to hire them. Oh, it turns out that they're Hispanic. Great. Who cares? Who cares? It's just, it's nuts. I don't understand the mentality. We need to stop it. It needs to end. It's got to end. We can't do this anymore. I'm never going to do it. It's never going to happen, ever. In my life, I will never, ever appreciate someone more because of the racial background. It'll never happen. Never. Don't even bother. MMT evaluation. Let's do it. Here comes Wish. So I go to the movie. I didn't want to see it. But after it bombed, I said, I got to sit through it because I got to at least know what the film is so I can further discuss its merits, or in this case, lack thereof, and, help shape this overall snapshot of the Disney disaster unfolding in front of us. And the thing about Wish is that it is an amalgamation, like so many films these days, of virtually every film you've seen before in the animated space, especially from Disney, throwback to many of the films they've done over the years. The problem is that it feels so artificial, right? It feels, as I said, in the reaction coming out of the AMC 8, snoozing through half the songs, it feels like it's AI written. We say that so often about these films. It's kind of cliche right at this point. Oh, an AI wrote this. But when you watch Wish and you listen to the songs, the lyrics, the jokes made, you go, wait, this doesn't feel authentic, and this feels all forced, and this feels like absolutely fake AF. And when you get to that point, you just say it's an AI written script. There's one good song here. You guys have heard it in the trailer. Why didn't they play it? I wish. I'm not going to sing it. I'm not a singer. That song you've heard. The only redeeming value here, not even the talking lamb, which you've seen in the trailer, where I didn't know my voice would be this low, right? That. You've got the cute little star guy we've seen in every animated film. There's a cutesy little character, right? Maybe it's a minion. In this case, it's a star. And the star's, her Voyager through the world. It's not well written. It's not anything that will get you soul shaking and ready and really, there and present in the film. You are out of it. Just like I was on. Let me find my Twitter picture. Listen again for my boy Strange Harbors, my dweeby ass bitch, Strange Harbors. And if anyone knows him, make sure he sees this, because if he's ever out here, tell him to look me up, because I know he's a dweeby ass bitch, and he would never hang with me. You guys know I'm a different animal, man. I don't play that shit like these other guys do. I actually hit the gym. I'll walk right up to my boy Strange Harbors and go, "What's up, boy? What's up, dweeb?" Because he's a dweeb. He's the guy who said I took a picture in the middle of a movie. Didn't happen. What an idiot. God, that guy. What a pretentious douche, too. F that guy, seriously. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to be positive. I promised I'd be positive, and I got that loser I got to talk about. Go say hi to him on Twitter for me. My boy Strange Harbors. Using the same picture he's used for the past 5 years. He's probably put on 50 pounds. That's why he uses the same picture. Oh, I say I never will make fun of. My bad. Retract. He's using an old picture. There's me asleep. You guys see it? That's me asleep at Wish during, I think, the villain song. No, it's actually at the end, because as you can see, they open the door. It's a staged picture, everybody, just like the other one was when I saw Poor Things, the worst movie of the year. That and Beau is Afraid. It's a staged picture. I'm not really asleep. I'm sorry to break the fourth wall, everybody. I'm so sorry. I'm not asleep here. But that's a version of what I look like throughout the movie. In fact, that's the AMC employee behind me. If you can see her, she's behind me cleaning up and putting things in the trash. I never leave trash on the ground, so that's not my issue. I'm keep the place clean. I just take pictures during the movie. It's my boy Strange Harbors. What a dweeb. MMT score 65% on this because I did doze. Or at least, like that sleep mode. You guys go into sleep mode where your eyes are sort of like barely open and you're sort of present, but not really. That was exactly where I was for this film Wish. If anyone saw it, you guys know what I'm talking about. Yes, I'll talk about Iron Claw tonight. Just remind me again later. Remind me it's not drool. If it is, that's good acting. If it is, because remember, guys, ultimately, what you get on this channel is heightened. Okay. In reality, ask anybody who hangs out. I'm pretty low key. Menzel will tell you I'm very low key. I had to go to his birthday. Listen, this sounds terrible. Oh man, that sounded bad. I went to Menzel's birthday party the other night, and I told him, I walked in. It's always awkward. When I walk in, you got to understand, to the film Twitter crowd, which a lot of the HCA members are, I'm like villain number one for whatever reason. Oh, because he's anti-woke. No, I'm not. For whatever reason, because I call Strange Harbors a dweeb. Whatever it is. If he was there, I would go up and tell him that. But when I walk in, I'm just like, I love Scott. I told him when I sat down next to him, I said, Scott, listen, you know this. I wouldn't be here for anybody but you. You're the only person I will make this appearance. So Scotty, he knows. I'm at this point, I'm just done with it. But yeah, we'll talk about Iron Claw tonight. I know you guys are really excited about it. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. I can't wait to talk about it. Let's go to let's do a whack review spotlight. We haven't done one of those in a while. Give me 1 second to pop that up. We will find someone who praised Wish. There'll be someone who was like 5 out of 5. Wish is the best film of the year, because that's what happens, especially the early people, right? The people who see the movies early go, oh my God, this movie's amazing. Here it is, Wish. You guys ready? 50%. That's thank God, we have some integrity in the world of criticdom. 50%. Audience score only 81. Exactly. And they're always very forgiving. This film is not even 81. It's like a 65. Like I said, my score is 65. Okay, let's find a 5 out of 5. Let's go. None of these look that good. Let's go to the next one. This is live trolling of Rotten Tomatoes. Hold on. Is there a 5 out of 5? Someone tell me if you see it. I feel like I'm due for, there's a B, 6.58. Oh, shit. Luis Bond, everybody, who writes for Diario Las Americas. Wish celebrates the 100th anniversary of Disney Animation Studios, and the only way it could be done with music, magic, and inviting us to dream. 5 out of 5. Oh, my God. Oh, Daniel Kimmel. He was in Boston. He's using a picture from like 1987. I can tell you that for sure, because he looked like this like over 10 years ago. As Disney, so many people do that. Do you know that? So many people, like, in the space, they use a picture from like 10 years ago. I'm like, it's okay. You're getting older. I mean, I'm not 25 anymore. It is what it is. I always change my picture. It's like, it couldn't be more current. As Disney animation enters the second century, Wish harkens back to the past and points to the way of the future, all while telling us an enchanting story about how important it is to hold on to your dreams. Yeah, that's true. That's exactly what it is. Hold on to your wishes and your dreams, but the movie's not good. 5 out of 5. Good God, Daniel Kimmel. Good Lord. That's ridiculous. Absolutely absurd. All right, let's go to Napoleon. It wins the 5-day weekend. This film outperformed, and we are stoked because this is an Apple film. Yes, we're going to go on a Netflix rant. It'll be very short. If this were a Netflix film, you would not see this in theaters. It would not have made nearly $80 million worldwide. It would be sight unseen in movie theaters, other than a couple of movie theaters, New York, LA, Austin, maybe one in Chicago if you have to drive 30 minutes. That's how Netflix does it. But Apple said, no, we're going to release this theatrically. We're going to go wide, and it outperformed. It did over 30 million stateside. Again, worldwide, it's going to do killer numbers because, again, $200 million film. I get it. Everything's in context. But remember, this is a film that will travel well overseas, as evidenced by the fact it's at $80 million essentially right now. That is impressive. And that is another reason why you support Apple. Listen, I have an Apple iPhone. And if I didn't, I'd probably buy one only for the fact that they are theatrical, and I want to support the studios and the filmmakers that work with studios that are theatrical. I don't want to support anything from Netflix. I don't want to support a filmmaker that works with Netflix. I don't want to support anything. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. If you're a filmmaker, you shouldn't be working with Netflix. I'm going to absolutely judge you if you do, because you are telling everybody you don't care about movies. Fincher, clearly. Fincher is a big problem because, as you know, Mank and now The Killer, he's just saying, I don't care. So Fincher has already dropped himself like how many notches in the eyes of all of you versus a Nolan who's like, listen, guys, I'm only going to do theatrical. I'm only signing with the Universal Warner Brothers, these big studios. They're going to release my film. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. That's how you do it. You do not sign with Netflix. I don't care what they offer. It's not happening. I mean, I know you guys don't, I say it often, and some of you probably don't believe it, but it's true. Anyone, Menzel will tell you that. Anybody who knows me, they will tell you that I am absolutely a man of my word, and I will, no question, I do not value, this sounds weird, I don't really value money. I mean, I do for the things I mean, listen, I love my football shirts. I'm not going to lie to you. I love having a roof over my head. I love having a car that operates, but I'm not one of those guys who needs to have money, and I'm happy. I'm happy going to movies. I'm happy talking about big picture ideas. I'm happy railing on Disney. I'm happy doing these things. And none of that really involves money, right? Other than the A-list subscription. It's not like you have to. So I think people put too much value on being rich. Nothing's wrong with it. But for me, I like what I have. And I think if you become comfortable just accepting where you are in life, obviously still trying to progress and better yourself, but don't be miserable in your current state. You're going to be so much better off. Obviously happier, no question. Let's do the MMT evaluation for Napoleon. A lot of people are like, this film wasn't for me. Too much relationship. No question. I mean, when you look at the negative here of this film, what Ridley Scott did with the film and the writer here and what they shaped, there's so much of that relationship. And when you watch the film, especially that first half, it is really heavy and interspersed with battle and then relationship battle. But then in the second half of the film, we lose that relationship more because obviously she's barren and he has to turn to, was it a 17 or 18-year-old girl to get pregnant? And then she kind of exits and then the film takes off with the highlight being Waterloo. Whether it's historically accurate, I understand how some of you are like, this isn't historically accurate. I get it. When I tell you guys, though, if I am evaluating a film, I am not evaluating it for historical accuracy. I'm not evaluating it versus the book. I am trying just to evaluate the film as a film. When I watched it, did I get moved by it? Was I into it? Did I fully buy into it? And the first half of Napoleon, if I didn't tell you guys the story and the reaction, if you haven't watched, I only got to watch the first half on Thanksgiving down in Orange County. Something came up, had to leave. So the next night here in Burbank, I saw the second half. And I think that was a really beneficial move because the film feels, it's long. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes. That first half is slow, and then that second half really picks up. But you look at the battle scenes. I think that the war scenes here are some of the best ever put on film. So often when I evaluate a film, and a lot of you go, wait a second, you're putting too much value here. Let me tell you, I always will explain this whenever I evaluate a film. Whenever we are pinging the top of the meter, whenever we are doing something in a film that is registering at nearly the highest level possible, you're bang, 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 right? Pinging off the top, then I'm going to recommend that film because the highs are stratospherically high. And that's the case with Napoleon. Yes, the lows are there. There's no question. As I said, the relationship too much, character development. Some of you saying, hey, listen, Napoleon, you don't know how mentally his character is shaped. And there is a lack of that as well. But again, the war scenes are what is going to get that film to a level where I recommend the film. Listen, MMT score is only 88% here. That's not super high. But I think also, as I said in the reaction coming out of the theater, when you look at Joaquin Phoenix, he doesn't do the French accent. And some people are, hung up on that. I would rather an actor not whiff on an accent than try. I'd much rather have him not even try. Because if you try and whiff, or look at Adam Driver. Go back and watch House of Gucci. Still haven't seen Ferrari. I will see Ferrari at some point. I put it off like so many times. I've heard it's like, okay. But when you look at, what was the other one? Oh, Last Duel. Last Duel and House of Gucci. He does accents and they disappear. They come in, they come out. It's just distracting. I want to have just nothing if you're not going to get it right. If you're not going to nail it, if you're not going to Daniel Day-Lewis it, then I don't want to have you even try. So I think that essentially Joaquin Phoenix does his job, which is to have you buy into the fact that you're watching Napoleon, right? You are in belief of the character and who he is portraying. If that doesn't work, then the whole film's not going to work. But I understand your issues with it. Again, 88% is like a B+ for me. It's not like some crazy score here. So don't everyone come after me going, my God. I acknowledge its shortcomings. And Byron, the screenplay isn't great. But again, the war scenes are spectacular, and there's where the recommendation is. I told you, the screenplay is not what I would write. It's not the film I'd write, but it's also not a total disaster, right? So it's again, the good outweighs the bad, and the good is so good that you push the score up. That's the best way. Hopefully that makes sense. Give me a thumbs up if it does. I think it does. Apple still hasn't announced the streaming date for Killers of the Flower Moon. Amen, right? And same thing here for Napoleon. Don't announce it. You don't do that. If you announce that it's going to be on streaming here, in 2 weeks, you tell everybody, just wait. Holdovers. They just announced at the end of the month. No, it's out Tuesday. Holdovers. Is anyone going to go to the movies now to see Holdovers? No. If they would have held it till Christmas, you'd have a better chance. The film has great word of mouth. Maybe my favorite film of the year. It's right there with Iron Claw. We're going to discuss here a little bit more in a moment. And then trying to think what else I love this year. John Wick 4. I mean, even though that's not an awards film, we're going to talk about American Fiction in a minute. I have issues with that film. Is it a best picture film? We'll discuss momentarily. A couple more comments, and we will get moving with the show. Didn't love Napoleon. With that said, I would have liked it significantly less if it didn't get to witness the scope on the big screen. Cinema right there. Exactly. I saw it in Prime and then in just a regular format actually for the second half, but it was still a large screen. It's just not going to work the same at home. Watching the Waterloo sequence, whether it's historically accurate or not going to work at home. It's not going to work at home like it will in any theater, as long as your theater has decent projection and decent sound. I mean, for a film like this, it's always recommended that you go for the PLF, premium large format. You got to go IMAX, Dolby, Prime, RDX, 4DX, whatever those things are at Regal and Cinemark, whatever they have. You got to go for those because these are the kind of films. Now, something like a Wish, first of all, I don't recommend you even sit through Wish, but you can see that on a normal screen. There's no reason to go see that in Dolby. If you want to, it's fine. If you got A-list, I'm just telling. There's certain films that don't need to be seen in the PLF format, right? There's no way. The Killer is like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, not the director's best, but ridiculously rewatchable. Well, I love his style, so of course I'm just not going to watch it. Yeah, a lot of people say the portrayal is not good. I don't profess to be a Napoleon fanboy, where I have all of the details of his intricate details of his life, memorized. So when I go to the movie, I'm like, oh, that's not. I just want to watch a good movie and at least enjoy a film while I'm there. And I think ultimately that's it. Holdovers is terrific, 100%. But you see what I'm saying? So it's a different mindset. If your mindset, kind of like go back to Exorcist Believer. A lot of people like, how did you recommend that film? Because I just absolutely removed it, distanced it from The Exorcist. I get how it's harder for some, but for me, I can do that. You have to be able in life to separate things. And it gets back to that anti-woke speech on the top. I want to separate everything. I'm only extracting one thing when I'm looking at merit, right? So this doesn't matter. Race and all that doesn't matter. I'm only extracting the talent, the merit. That's it. And when I watch, a film that does something really well, I'm trying to extract the things that are great. And that's what you're trying to do. And it's a different way of evaluating versus going through like, oh, I'm a fan of this and I read the book 100 times, therefore the book isn't exactly how. Yeah, I get it. That's a different evaluation. For me as a movie, just going in, watching Exorcist Believer, I think it's a great film. I really do. I mean, I can't believe I said that after what I said about David Gordon Green. I would have fired him. And that would have been a big mistake. Huge mistake. But, I said what I said. You make mistakes. That would have been one for me, no question. By the way, we haven't talked about this. Hunger Games won the weekend. 41 million. You know what? I don't want to ever see a Hunger Games movie again. But this film's at $200 million worldwide. We're getting another one. It's Lionsgate. They're going to totally make another one. I just don't want to sit through it. This film already felt like it was beating a dead horse, right? You're like, we've done this. There's no more awe watching everyone battle in the Hunger Games. No matter what you do here, there's no way. There is no way to revitalize this franchise in my eyes. This is a dead franchise, but the numbers tell me we're going to get another one. I can't tell you it's bombing. That's what I said. I can not think the film is great, and then what am I going to tell you? The movie's bombing. It's got 200 million worldwide, 100 million stateside, 200 worldwide. It's going to have another one. So that's what we do here. I have the ability to extract and to be fair, and that's what we're trying to do here. You're just trying to always remain as objective as possible within the subjective, right? That's it. Objective within the subjective. And that includes not valuing a director more or less for the color of their skin or whether it's a man or a woman. It just doesn't matter, man. It just, why does it matter? Can you explain to me why it matters? Oh, because at the end of the day, is the movie good? That's all I'm asking you. If it is, that's it. I don't care. You don't need to tell me the sex. I don't really give a shit. Honestly, it's great. Fantastic. Okay, here we go. I showed this and everyone's asking me, what movie were you in tonight for this? Look, I walked into this movie before Wish. I got there early, hanging out at the AMC 8. I love that place. It's like super chilled. Look how small the room is. You can see the size of this thing. It's like, how many seats is that? 3, 7. It's like 40 seats, 50 seats. It's not very big. So I walked in and I'm like, there's nobody here. What the hell? And the movie was on, right? The movie's going. And I look, what is this movie? I don't know what it is. It's not the previews. Nobody. So I walked down to the front. I go, what the hell movie is this? You guys ready? I promised everyone that I would show you what movie it is. And you're going to say, you know what you're going to say right now? That's not a movie. Well, I'm just telling you, this is the movie. They put it on like one screen. And this was the movie, Cypher. So Cypher had 0 people in it tonight. It's some kind of like faux documentary about an aspiring rapper who has a stalker. I watched like 20 minutes of it, and it's a Hulu show or a Hulu movie, and they put it in the theater, and nobody came tonight. I mean, there was nobody. It was like, I've never walked into a movie in Burbank with nobody in the theater. But that's what you get with Cypher, which is, again, yeah, it wasn't the Marvels. You guys, I know you, but listen, in Burbank, you're never going to get a movie with nobody in it. Like, never. We're in the movie capital of the universe, so it's never happens. That's why when I walked in, I'm like, what the hell movie has nobody in here? And it's, again, the vaunted Cypher, which is on Hulu at the same time. Well, of course, there's nobody in there. All right, let's go to, this is going to be fun. You guys ready? Tell me, what new screeners do you see on the wall behind me? I'll give you a hint. I'm going to turn my chair slightly this way. There's one right over my shoulder. There's one up here, and there's one right staring you in the face. There are 3 2023 FYC screeners that have been added to the wall. Can you spot them? First person that sees all 3 gets something from me. I don't know what. Yes, Barbie is one. It's very obvious. It's right there. Barbie, by the way, I want to say something about this one. This one has, can you guys see? It's hard to see. The eye is dotted with a jewel, a pink jewel. So it's very it's right there. You got to trust me on that. If the light hits it right, it'll be there. That's your best picture. Of course, they're pushing for. I'm telling you, Barbie's going to win. I told you guys months ago it's going to win. That's number 1. Number 2, yes, American Fiction. You guys rock. That's correct. And I believe Dan White is paying attention. Actually, Sham saw it too. Sham saw it too. All 3. There it is. Saltburn is right there. You know, it's wild because I'm happy that they're still sending me DVD screeners. I never watch the DVDs. I've got a pile of them right here. Right here's Tar. What else do we have here? Air. They sent Air. By the way, Air's up here. If you guys didn't miss it, Air's right below Barbie. Despicable Me's old school. I've got all the DVDs here. The Batman. All the DVDs are here. Honest to God. I'm more than willing to part with these. I don't need these. Like I like the boxes. I don't even want the DVDs. They just sit here on the desk. I mean, I want the Tar one because it means so much to me. It's my favorite film of the past decade, probably. But let's talk about American Fiction. the reason I brought that up is because it's time to talk about American Fiction. It's a film that's being touted as a Best Picture contender. It's Cord Jefferson, who is a first-time filmmaker, feature debut here. When you look at Cord Jefferson, you are looking at a writer of television. He has done a ton of series. I think one of the big ones was The Good Place, CBS show. But when you watch American Fiction, which I think the premise is amazing, right? So here's the premise. The premise is that you have a writer who is unsuccessful, and he discovers another author who found success by writing almost a ghetto-style book, right? So the language of the streets. And he says, oh, hell, I'm having no success doing what I'm doing. I'm going to come up with a pseudonym, and I'm going to write a book that is very much in that vein. And so he writes this goof book that he thinks is terrible, that no one is ever going to be interested in. And his publisher, his agent calls and says the publisher wants to publish it. And they want to give you like $700,000 for this thing. I'm not going to give the whole movie away. I'm just going to tell you the premise you've probably seen from the thing. That's amazing, right? So then he gets the book sold, and it's about him having to live with the fact that he wrote what he considers to be a trash book, and it's the most successful thing he's done. What an absolutely amazing core idea. I love it. It's perfect. Couldn't be better. It's the movie I want to watch. And the performances, you got Jeffrey Wright alone. Okay, I will go to bat for Jeffrey Wright in any movie. I don't even care if it's terrible. If Jeffrey Wright's in it, it is instantly one grade better in my book because Jeffrey Wright's on the screen. Go back to French Dispatch. One of the reasons I love that film, Jeffrey Wright, should have been nominated for supporting actor that year. Unbelievably omitted that year. But look at Jeffrey Wright. He's here. He plays the author. Pitch perfect. He's just casting nailed. He's the absolutely perfect pick for that. The problem with American Fiction, it is a big, big problem. This screenplay is overpopulated. You can tell Cord Jefferson is a TV writer. There are all manner of characters in this movie. And when I'm watching it, I'm like, why are we spending so much time with this family? This feels like a show. It feels like I'm watching a TV show and turned into a 2-hour movie. And the problem is that stuff's not interesting. The core idea of a fraud author, even though he really wrote the book, but he has to portray himself as this gangster author on the run from the law, that's awesome. But then we get sidetracked with mom issues, sister issues, gay brother issues. I'm watching a TV show. So Cord Jefferson, very clearly, the funny thing is I didn't even know he was a TV writer until after I watched the movie. I go, bet the guy wrote TV. Boom, he did. And it shows itself in the movie. This is a disappointment for me. It's only an 80%. Now, that's not a bad grade, but because it has so many distractions and because it's overstuffed, the film really is a disappointment because it could have been so much better without all of the baggage. It's one of these that I'd love to get to in the script writing process and go, Cord, I know you're a TV guy, but I'm going to tell you something. The idea here is amazing. The idea is what you want to do, but you've got so much else going on. We need to extract it. Here's how I know I'm dead on with American Fiction. And listen, I'm not going to tell you I'm the best. I'm going to tell you I'm one of the best. And here's how I know it again. It proves it over and over. I never watched the trailer for American Fiction. I hadn't seen it until after I watched the movie. Here's how I know I'm dead on with my evaluation. When you watch the trailer for American Fiction, guess what is not in the trailer at all? Any of the family stuff. The only time the sister and brother, and maybe the mom shows up in the trailer, they're all talking about the book. They're not talking about the bullshit they're dealing with in life, which is what the movie goes with. So that tells me everything I need to know about my evaluation, that I nailed it. Because audiences, test audiences, and people feedback when they saw it, they said, this film is great at its core, but the characters outside of that bring it down. And that's what the trailer shows. I nailed another evaluation. Give me a like. I did. I really did. I felt so good after that when I watched the trailer. I go, I really should be I should have a job. I really should have a job in Hollywood somewhere. I should. Why wouldn't? Oh well, yeah, I'm not woke, so of course that would cancel me. Tonight's kit, Aston Villa, fourth in the table, fourth. Can you believe it? By the way, I thought about this. I think I have 4 or 5 Aston Villa kits. That's crazy. Like, this is one of my favorites. And by the way, I added the sponsor on the side. I am not messing around with these things. Like, I get them raw, and I literally order the extra patches to put it on so it's as field ready as possible. Minus the player on the back. They're always empty. They're never a player on the back. Therefore, someone gets traded on to worry about it. So Aston Villa is tonight's kit. Let's go to some comments because I've been rocking and rolling for a while here. Saltburn. Go back and watch my reaction. It was a few weeks ago. I haven't talked about Saltburn more. It's real quick thoughts on Saltburn if you missed them. Saltburn is a film that's overwritten, very much like American Fiction, but not the same way. Emerald Fennell just did too much to the film. She goes haywire at the end. She makes you roll your eyes around in your head like multiple times at that ending. If she would have done less, remember, same thing with American Fiction. Less is more. These writers, these directors can't figure this shit out. I want to see less. The film's better with less. The trailer proved it with American Fiction. American Fiction, by the way, is not in my estimation, a Best Picture. If it is, it's a number 10. It is not. Let me look right now. Let's pull it up. Let's go to Awards Ace, and I've got them ranked now. And I'm going to do a whole stream about this because I think it's important. We're at the point now we need to start doing this for real. We got to pull up the Best Picture ranked on awardsace.com, which, of course, is my site that I am the EIC of, which, of course, is editor-in-chief. So I run this all myself, as you can probably tell. It's pretty rudimentary, but you know what? It gives you what you need. Number one contender right now for Best Picture is Oppenheimer. No question about it. When you look at its success financially, that's a big part of it. Also, it's Nolan. This should be his year, but I'll tell you what, Barbie's number 2. It's really close. At the end of the day, if you ask me right now, which film do you bet to win Best Picture? I'm going to take Barbie. So I probably should flip those, but I think right now, just prohibitively, the favorite would be Oppenheimer, but it's really close. Killers of the Flower Moon in third. Poor Things, a film I hate. I mean, you guys don't understand. I think Poor Things is unwatchable. I am angry at that film. I am angry at Emma Stone for making that film. I am pissed off at Yorgos for making me sit through that film. I am embarrassed for Mark Ruffalo for doing what he does in that film, especially. I mean, I heard him say something like, Poor Things told me how to be a different actor in different roles. Listen, Mark Ruffalo, Poor Things told me that you need to never do that again. It's embarrassing. Your performance is terrible. It is a comic book caricature embarrassment for Mark Ruffalo. A terrible film, Poor Things. I can't even. It makes me so angry. I want to like literally start like slamming things around the room. I hate that film with a passion you don't even understand. The Holdovers is number 5, a film I love. I love Holdovers. I mean, it's probably my favorite film of the year. American Fiction I have at number 6, just based on the buzz. It doesn't deserve to be in the 6th spot. It's really a 10 seed at best. Maestro I haven't seen. I'm not going to see. Past Lives, another film I think is horrendously overrated. It doesn't deserve to be there, but it's probably going to get in. It's A24. They've done a good job marketing it. Haven't seen Color Purple yet. Heard great things about it. I've always had that up there. I think that'll surge higher than 9. Just right now, I'm going to keep it there. And Zone of Interest, I believe, gets in. I love the Zone of Interest. I can't wait for you guys to see it. It is a detached, very cold, yet incredibly effective look at the Holocaust. Zone of Interest, one of my favorite films of the year, right there, along with Holdovers. Completely different films, but you're going to love Zone of Interest for what it is. It's not a film you're going to enjoy, but it's going to knock you on your ass. That's what good filmmaking does. Next in line would be Air. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is absolutely right there. I don't have any problem putting that maybe even in the top 10. I think we're still climbing with that one. It could end up being in there. Anatomy of a Fall did not get France's best international feature submission, but it's such a strong film. It should be a contender for Best Picture. I would love to see it there. Screenplay, no question. Performance, yes, absolutely. Iron Claw. Let's talk about Iron Claw because I had a question earlier about that film. I didn't really go into it much about the Iron Claw when I first saw it. Came out of the DGA screening, one of the first screenings. It was last week. Really, I think my reaction stream is one of my favorites I've ever done for that. So if you haven't seen it, go watch the reaction stream. It's probably as good as it's going to get because my thoughts are so raw. What I can tell you about Iron Claw is It is the perfect example of the right director for the story. So often we get a director that is the wrong director for the film, for the story, and we suffer. When we watch Iron Claw, Sean Durkin knew the film he wanted to make, and he delivers it with the style, not flashy, with a very subdued style that the film demands. You also have very strong performances. Chief, you look at, for me, the kid from, what's it called? The movie from last year, Triangle of Sadness. He's great. He's very good as one of the Von Erich brothers. But, Zac Efron gets a lot of shit for being kind of, the actor who did High School Musical and all that. But at some point, it has to wear off. And we gave Robert Pattinson the benefit of the doubt, didn't we? Yeah. We gave, eventually, because we saw him in things like The Rover, right? And you're like, okay, this guy's not just the guy from Pattinson, from Twilight. Also Cosmopolis. God, that movie sucked. But again, he's an actor who takes chances. He doesn't want to make commercial stuff. I love him for that. So, let's give Zac Efron a chance here. I think this is a great springboard for him going forward. Physically, he's absolutely jacked. You guys know I like going to the gym, and I consider myself in pretty good shape. But that boy is sliced and diced. Man, he is absolutely shredded. Efron looks amazing. But he delivers what he needs to do as Kevin Von Erich. I grew up watching the Von Erich brothers. The film is very strong, and I wouldn't change much about it, if anything. And that's a really high compliment because I know the story. So I am evaluating that film a little differently than I normally do because I know the story of the Von Erichs. I watched world-class wrestling in the 80s, right? Not on tape, watched it live on ESPN. So, that's my era, and it's a very strong film. I can't wait. That's another great one. You're going to have two really strong films coming your way in The Zone of Interest and Iron Claw. By the way, both of those A24 films, correct? Yes. Did you hear this, by the way? And we're calling this, what else would we call it? No shit, Nolan. Did you see Christopher Nolan? He said, wait till you see this. You guys are going to be like, oh my God, no shit, Christopher. No shit. Here it is. Where is it? I got to find it. Discussing film. Watch here. This is what he had to say. Christopher Nolan praises A24 as an effective distributor for bringing out incredible and challenging films on a very regular basis. Thank you for stating the obvious, Christopher Nolan. like he's saying something profound like the rest of us never knew that. We didn't know. I knew this about A24 in 2011, maybe 12. Okay. Definitely by 13. But he's saying it now 10 years later. It's like, thanks, Christopher, for weighing in on A24. Like, dude, I think anything but no shit. No shit. What's interesting? We're going to do a physique critique for Zac Efron when the movie comes out. I do have, thank you. That's a great suggestion, by the way. Let's go ahead and do a physique critique because I have this one lined up. This is another tweet that I saw come across this week, and it's talking about Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd said, let's get the exact quote here, says that he had trouble. Exact quote. He had a horrible and restrictive diet for playing Ant-Man. My reward was sparkling water. That's how horrible the diet was. I was like, all right, I can have some sparkling water now. I've earned it. Okay, so you're like, what's he look like shirtless? For those of you that don't remember, let's go ahead and show you. I don't know which Ant-Man this is. Do you guys remember? Is this in the actual movie? He's right there. Can you see it? There we go. Hold on. No, I don't want to enter my birth date. Get out of here. I don't have a Pinterest account. But I found this GIF of him with his abs. He's really lean. I mean, that's really lean. It's hard to get there. So I think for the physique critique, by the way, I made a banner. How dare I shortchange all of you without showing you the banner? I think that he's working, he definitely was on a restrictive diet. But it's not like he was, he hit the weights a little bit. But he's just really lean. He's really lean. But it's like sparkling. So what? Sparkling water is amazing. Did I mention how much I drink of this right here? It's the Clear American. If you buy this instead of me, you guys are the worst. I will come after you for that. That is it. I'll come after you harder than I do for Strange Harbors if you take my stuff. At least he called it A24. Yeah, that's right. Ridley Scott called it A23. That's funny. I did see that. But it is hilarious that he's like, yeah, like, no shit, dude. Thank you for that. All right, let's see what else I have before we go to MMT Gets Freaky. I almost did the whole show MMT Gets Freaky because tonight is something that is kind of crazy. So I'm kind of want to do it. So let's see. Do I have everything here? I think I did everything. That was a good show. God, that was a lot. I didn't even want to do a show tonight. Yeah, he's really skinny, bail on that. No question. Yeah, you know what? It is, but I'm going to start posting some workout videos. I think I'm going to, certainly run a shirtless run up and down Sunset because I think it's very motivating. And also I can tell you guys how to do it. It's not that hard. It's work, but you can do it. I promise you can. It's not like something you can't do. You just have to be very diligent about it. Okay, guys, get ready. Here it comes. Those of you who want to bag out, go for it. I'm good with it. But if you want to stick around and have your brain expanded and go, what the hell is that? It's time for MMT Gets Freaky. Here we go, everybody. Get ready for a wild video. I told you guys that I follow this YouTuber often, and he hasn't posted in forever. So I was kind of like, when's this guy ever going to come back? It's
everyone. This is Jeff.
Okay, so here we go. Jeff P. And this is going to tie into movies, by the way. So you guys remember Nope? What was the plot of Nope? That there are alien ships above us cloaked in the clouds, correct? Now, for those of you who are into conspiracy theories, and I hope you are at least considering it because there's nothing wrong with it. I love at least exploring, being open to the possibility. You know that Hollywood likes to predictive program stuff to us, right? So they show us something, and then years later it arrives. And people say The Simpsons so much, right? The Simpsons predict so many things. Well, first of all, as you may or may not know, Matt Groening, right, is the producer, creator of it, and he is a Freemason. And the Freemasons are allegedly in charge of the world. So he would know what's going to happen. Therefore, The Simpsons makes sense when it starts spewing off all this stuff that happens. So check this video out. Let me make myself smaller. This is crazy because, I mean, when we watch Nope, we say, shit, that's science fiction. But just, I'm going to turn him down a little bit. Do you guys see here the ship? Okay. You see how there's like a big circle there in the sky. You're like, what the hell is that? Okay. Cool. I totally get it. So here's what he is saying. Now, let me just scoot ahead here in the video. You're going to see it move. Hold on. Let me go back. So here's what this dude's saying. And I told you guys before about the belief that I have, and I do believe this is true. And I know this is insane, but you need to listen to me. Right outside, in a way that for whatever reason we can't see, there is shit out there that we have not been told about. I'm talking like out in the sky, cloaked / hidden from view, which is cloaked. There is some shit out there that you're not seeing. I showed you guys that planet with all the craters. It's right there. It's right there. It's like next to us. So he's claiming this thing here is in the sky as a UFO. Now, just hear me out. And as it sits there, its job is to block the view of the planet. If it's so obvious, they have to have something there. Otherwise, why is the cloud cut out like that in a circle? What the hell is that? Right? So as you watch the video, here's another one.
A solar eclipse.
Okay, I'll let Jeff.
There is a
craft. Okay, stop. Do you guys see how the clouds are kind of etched out there? He claims that right in front of you is the bottom of a ship. I know, guys, just trust me on this. I know it's fucking weird. I get it. I understand it. I know what you're saying right now. You're like, I don't just what do I tell you guys? Just go there and allow me to explain, and then you can tell me what you think. He claims right there you can see the cut lines. There is something there that you cannot see, and what is happening in the middle of that is literally creating a cloud swirl pushing out of the middle, very much like Nope. Remember, Nope had the mouth in the middle, pushing it out, okay? So why is it there? Because it's blocking planet. That's what he's saying. It's exactly correct, a cloaking device of some sort. Of some sort. All I'm telling you is, here's what I'm saying. Could it be true that, look, as you guys see, look, so you'll see it, he goes to the edges, and then look, see how it's like cut out? And then here's another one here. There's something there in the sky. It's got like red. Okay, and then he's got things about what. Hold on, there's another one here I want to show you that's kind of crazy. Okay, okay, watch this. This is crazy. Remember how I told you that, according to some people, and I know this is like, for those of you who haven't heard, this is crazy. As the sun rotates, as it crosses, revolves, there is another artificial sun in front of our sun. Now, I know, trust me, I'm just throwing it out there. As it moves, the artificial sun's job is to be there for when a planet crosses in front of our sun. So in other words, the sun's not as far away as we think it is. And there's also a planet in between us and the sun. It eclipses, right? So here we go. Here's the sun. Here comes the planet. And as that thing comes across, the artificial sun will line up. So now watch this video. Watch the video.
So
You're
let's
going to
speed this
see, let me hit this. Let me see if you can scrub it. It's a dark shadow. It's not going to be obvious to you, but watch. Here it comes. Watch, see it? Here it comes. It's starting to form, and it's going to come across. And let me see if you can zoom it forward. It's going to come across and dim. There it comes. There it goes. It's going to dim the sky, but you can't see it because it's cloaked. Let me see if I can do it in fast speed, just so you can see it come through. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm trying to see. He had it really good where it comes by really fast. There it goes. There it goes. Watch, watch, watch. Do you see how it's getting dark? See how it's getting dark? Do you see how it's a circle and then it goes away? So it's literally, okay, it's literally coming in front and forming a circle. So when it comes in front, you can almost see, it almost looks like, it would look like a shadow. Like a shadow passes in front. Now, I'm going to tell you a story. That's crazy, but I remember thinking this. I was at the beach 3 weeks ago. I wish I had taken a picture. I'm so pissed I didn't. I was playing beach volleyball. As you guys know, I'm in Huntington Beach. I'm looking up. By the way, for those of you, because I play volleyball in Huntington Beach, that makes me racist, because only racists live in Huntington Beach. That's what the internet will tell you. Oh, it's all white supremacists. Unbelievable. Yeah. Okay. Right. If you go to Huntington Beach, it's literally an assortment of all kinds of people from all over the world. Yes, exactly. So I'm looking up, right? I'm playing volleyball. I look up. The sun is here, and there's a gigantic halo around it, okay? And I looked at it, and I was like, that's weird. What the hell is that halo? Here's what it is, and this is going to freak you out. You need to listen. This is what I believe it to be, and after watching these videos, I kind of think it's true. That is a planet that is eclipsing our sun, and there is another light source in front of it. So what you're getting is the kickback from the light source onto the planet, and then the sun's obscured until it moves. And for some periods of time, it's right in front. So if you see a halo and the sun in the middle, you're actually looking at a planet eclipsing us. I'm just telling you, I know it's crazy. Byron, I get it. Okay, you know what, Byron? Thank you for asking that question. I'm very happy you asked me for the artificial sun, because here we go. For those of you who missed last week, let's do it. Here comes the, get ready. Listen, you know I'm a journalist, right, guys? You know that. Here is the patent, the U.S. patent, US3. Let me get it up for you guys. This is patent US 3247367A. It is for, the inventor is Juan Luis Racis. It was patented in 1960. And it is a solar simulator. Can you guys see that? Do you guys see that? It says solar simulator. Do you see that or not? Give me a thumbs up if you see solar simulator. So here's the thing. So if you click on the images, it gives you like an actual idea of what this thing looks like. Let's see if we can make it bigger. There it goes. So there's the lenses. You can see it's like a honeycomb kind of situation. And look, it's got 50 inches, 60, whatever. Maybe it's feet. I don't know how big it is. There's the inventor. And so, look, it's a gigantic thing that basically it's 3 sheets. Let's see if we can get the other sheet. Let me pull back. Hold on for a second. Okay, there's that. Let's see if we can get the next page. Let's see. Give me a second. I know this is, okay, here it is. Here's a good picture. Here's a really good picture. Hold on. Give me a second. Go back and expand. Okay, here it is. Okay, so look, check this out. Let me hit this. So look, it's got lenses and shit. It's like a giant thing that rotates and sits in space and shoots light back at us through lenses. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm just telling, listen, I know this shit's crazy. I get it. But I'm just asking you to say this. Yes, there's definitely more shit out there than we've been told. I'll show you that real quick. So that's the sun simulator. It's a patent. It's a U.S. patent going back to 1960. So why would they patent it in a solar simulator? Why would you make right? Think about that. Why would you patent one? Oh, I'm just going to make a sun simulator just for the hell of it. There's got to be a reason. You don't patent something like you think there's a need for it, unless you're insane. Let's just make a gigantic sun simulator. Okay, hold on. Let me find final days. Okay, so for those of you like don't the planets, and then I'm gonna be done. I'm tired. I just at some point they're gonna shut us off because they're like, you can't be showing these things, whatever. You can talk about movies and you can harass things, but I don't. You know, the funny thing is, I would love for people to like come on here and go this crazy because then it just spreads the thing that shit's out there. Watch this. This is final days. I told you whenever I watch her, it's kind of scary because she talks about. I mean, this is kind of this is why tonight I almost didn't do the show. Can I just tell you for a second? When I watch some of the stuff, and I'm not telling you like I'm going off the deep end, although some people would say that for sure. I'm telling you that when you watch some of this stuff, you start to say, could this be we are living in the end times? That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's crazy to ask that question because there's so much wild shit happening in the world that's never happened before. I don't see why you can't ask the question. If you have any kind of religious, by the way, here's a great picture of what we're talking about with the sun simulator. Look, see that? It's like a black dot in the middle. That's not how the sun should look. There, okay, here we go. Here's the sun. Then look, there's another source up there of light. Do you see it? So is that a planet? There's the sun. So what the hell is that up there? Do you guys see what I'm talking about? Hold on, I think I lost it. Okay, here we go. So there's a light source above it. She says not the sun. She doesn't have an agenda either. It's not like she's like sitting here. Okay, watch the reflection in the sky. It's like a weird. It doesn't look like normal sun. It looks like a ray. Okay, hold on. Let me show you guys something. So it basically is there to obscure whatever's there. Because if the sun's in front of you, you're not going to see what's behind it, right? Or whatever that light is, it's not going to be harder to see. Let's see. Hold on. There's a really good one here. Okay, right here. This is it. Okay, watch this. Okay, so look. There's the light. And look. Okay, do you guys see what she has highlighted there? Okay, watch there. Just watch that circle. Watch the circle. What is that? That's not a lens flare, guys. It is a perfect circle. It is a total planet. It's some kind of moon or some shit. Look. Now watch. Look, then there's a red-ass planet next to it with a bunch of craters. She doesn't... Look, and here's the thing what I say. Whenever I watch this, what's crazy is as the time goes, the craters go with it. Does that make sense? The craters spin with it, like we've been told all planets do. So it's not like something. Here's one right here. There's like 3 in this one. Do you guys see this? There's like 3 planets in this. There's 3 things. There's one in the middle. Do you guys see it? Where she has the contrast on? Look, there's a second. Do you see that? Look. There's a second one right below it. There's like 2 planets. This shit is like science fiction movie shit. No, I mean, Byron, it's not. I listen, I'm just telling you. It's a great question, Jerk. I don't know what the NDA is. I can just tell you this, that I could never work for NASA. You guys know that's who I am, a truth teller. I cannot do this shit. Like, if I was at NASA, they'd be like, we can't have you here because you're going to tell everybody. But look, tell me that's not 2 planets. That's not added. She doesn't, this lady's, she might be crazy like biblical shit, but she's not adding these planets. What the hell is that? There's 2 of them. That's not the moon. And first of all, even if it was the moon, what's the other one? She reads scripture, which is a little like creepy, but look, here comes another one. Watch the craters. Watch the craters move. Watch it. Put a crater there. Watch as it moves. It moves with it. It's rotating as the planet goes through the sky. I'm telling you, man, there's shit out there that we do not know and we have not been told. Here's another look at it. Look at the one spinning the red one. It's crazy, dudes. You guys know I'm right. Ultimately, I know I didn't. If you would have, here's what I'm going to tell you one more time. If not for COVID, I would never have gone down a rabbit hole in my life. But once COVID happened, I said, okay, now I know you're making shit up. I'm not suggesting all of it was. I'm telling you that we were lied to multiple times about multiple things. And what happens when you've been lied to? You go, wait a second, let's go digging. Because I have a journalistic background. You guys know that. Granted, it was TV news, but anybody who worked with me would tell me I was a good reporter. They'd say that guy was fearless. He would go after shit. And I'm telling you right now, if not for COVID, I would never even look. I'd watch these videos, go, you're an idiot. Now, I say, what haven't they made up? What is true? What is the truth? Because I don't think any of us know for sure. I think we can all agree that none of us know the real truth. I'm not suggesting that I do. I'm telling you that what I'm looking at is messed up. And there's some weird shit out there. And of course, they're not going to tell us. Why would they tell us? Why would they tell us that? It could be. It could be. It could be. No, it's not a spy balloon. Those things are rotating around. Yeah, I know. I get it, but the point is she's not. This is like, you can tell it's not doctored. Look, there it is. There. Okay, look. Stop one more time. Look here. This is one more. Let's look at it. Okay, hold on. Let me hit it. Hold on. Let me go back. So watch. Do you see that? Do you see that thing? It's like, it's not in great view, but there it is. And then watch as she moves it. Watch the craters. Do you see this thing with the white dots all over it? Do you guys see that? Do you guys see like the craters on that red thing? Watch it spin. The craters are spinning, and then again, there's 2 planets right there. Then is that one, and it's just there's two planets and they're rotating. And you're gonna say, why can I not see that? Because this is a weather camera in the middle of nowhere. They're not obscuring the view up there. Who lives up there? Nobody. This isn't like, is this Alaska? I think it's Alaska. Nobody lives there. Not to mention, when's the last time you even looked in the sky? When's the last time you looked in the sky? That's all I want to know. When's the last time you looked in the sky and saw something? And of course, you never look in the sky. Nobody does. Nobody looks up. No one looks up. Don't look up. Underrated movie. Nobody looks up. We all just go, whatever. You're too busy doing shit. Yeah, I don't know. All right, that's going to do it tonight. I just like to end it. I almost did the whole show like that because I was totally freaked out by that video of the cloaking cloud like UFO thing. I'm like, wait, this is Nope. And then I go, oh shit, predictive programming. But this is the kind of stuff, by the way, here's the funny part is, I would love someone to come and say, this guy's great. No, just watch tell them, debunk it. Go, debunk it. That's all I'm asking. Debunk it. Other than you saying it's CGI that she put together, you just take that off the table. What are you going to say? You know what you're going to say? Here's what you're going to say. You're going to say, but we were told. There's your problem. But we were told. There's your issue. But we learned in school. There's your issue. Who is to suggest that what you learned in school is accurate? Who says that? You don't know. You really don't know. Do you know anybody who's been to outer space? Do you know any human being who's been to outer space? No. I don't know Neil Armstrong. I don't know Buzz Aldrin. Do you personally know somebody? And then, you know what I mean? Like, where you can verify some things in life. I'm sorry. I need concrete proof. And unless I get it, I'm going to ask questions. I'm just always going to do that. I think you should too. Do that with movies too. Ask questions. UFOs. I mean, maybe there is a Planet X out there, John. There's no question. It's probably Nibiru. That's what they call it, Nibiru. It's got 2. There's one video I'll show you next week. Is a video of a planet thing going through with 2 tails. Like it literally has like a tail coming off the back end. Does that make sense? So it's because apparently Nibiru, they've always said, has this. Hold on, let me see if I can. No, this isn't it. Yeah, it's just weird. More weird videos. But yeah, that's what's happening. All right, guys, you guys rock. I'll be back. I'm going to do a Thursday show this week because what do we have this week? Do we have, Godzilla -1. I can't wait. Speaking of weird shit, Godzilla -1. Heard great things about the movie. I grew up as a kid watching Godzilla movies on Friday night from Fritz the Night Owl in Columbus, Ohio. He had a late night drive-in kind of show, 11:30 on Channel 10 in Columbus, Ohio, WBNS. And I watched him and he'd go, here comes Godzilla versus Mothra. And he talked like it was really creepy. It was really weird. I'll see if I can find some of those videos. Fritz the Night Owl. And I love Godzilla. And if this movie is as good as everyone says it is, we'll be talking a lot about Godzilla -1 on Thursday when I see it, because that's when I'm seeing movies now when they come out. I'm done. Well, I'm not totally done, but I'm largely done going to press screenings. So I don't have to see people like Strange Dweeb Harbors. Actually, he doesn't live here, but I don't want to see that guy. Such a nerd. We don't like nerds. You guys aren't nerds. These guys are nerds. Don't be a nerd. Certainly don't be a dweeb like Strange Harbors. All right, guys. Peace out. Love always from LA. I'll see you Thursday night back here on the show. Enjoy your week. Be safe. And always be looking up.